me. Their defense is certainly not worse than Missouri. That Missouri defense was atrocious. But I don't see that offense doing anything. Missouri had a pretty good offense that A&M was able to neutralize. We had an insider on the show earlier this week that told us that their offensive line, terrible. The receivers struggling, and they can't run the ball. Those three things make me think, it could go for A&M. But then I started looking at the numbers, and just to scare myself, they're second to last in yards per game, OB. That sounds good, but A&M is third to last, okay? But I think A&M has certainly found their stride the last couple of weeks. They're in the bottom 4 of rushing. They're second to last in scoring, 21.9 points per game. The Ags, just 27.6 per game. Now, obviously, that number's a little skewed because of the 2 10-point games that the Ags had early on. But here's the interesting stuff on the defensive side. They are number 4 in yards given up, in a good way. The Ags are number 7. But they've only played 2 ranked teams. Top 3 in passing yards given up, middle of the pack on the rushing yards, and they give up about 22.7 points per game. All right, that's some numbers to kind of consider as we begin the Go Hour with Olin Buchanan, our Heisman Trophy voter, and my partner here for the Go Hour. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, David.
So I'm looking at those numbers. I came into it thinking, because I haven't watched that much South Carolina. Who has, right? Their fans aren't even watching them. And I'm like, this could, because it's at home, be an even better game than it was against Missouri. But that defense is not bad.
Their defensive line isn't. They have some NFL caliber players in the defensive line, especially. I think he's going now by J.J. Kingsley Enagbari. He's a really good player. They have a guy who was a 5-star recruit at defensive tackle, Zach. Can't think of his name right now, but I want to say Wilson, but that's not right. Anyway, but when you read off those numbers, sometimes you got to remind yourself the company they're keeping, right?
Sure.
They, like Missouri, played a close game, I think, with Kentucky. I could be wrong on that. Somebody they only lost like 16-10 or something.
I'm going to pull up their schedule as we're discussing this because that's what we do here on the show. We get the information for you.
And they played Vanderbilt, and I would always look to see really how did you do against SEC or Power 5 competition.
Yep. So let's see. September 4th, they destroyed Eastern Illinois.
Tony Romo's alma mater.
46-0.
Yeah.
Then they played East Carolina to a close game, 20-17.
Okay.
They lost 40-13 to Georgia.
Yeah, right.
They played Kentucky very tough, 16-10. And I believe at that point, Kentucky had played Missouri tight too. They found their stride a little bit later.
Right.
South Carolina, they beat only by 9 points, 23-14. They lost to
who'd they beat by 23-14?
Troy. Tennessee beat them 45-20, and then obviously the 1-point game at the very end that they beat Vandy.
Yeah. So
the numbers don't say everything because of the caliber of opponent they've
right.
played.
And I don't know. Who's the great offensive team you just read off, especially among SEC?
I would say Tennessee is pretty good offensively, right?
They are against Missouri.
Yeah. They scored 45 against South Carolina. Georgia is not an offensive juggernaut,
no,
but they scored 40. There isn't.
They did. Georgia scores a lot of points, and more power to them. I love them because they're bringing back the notion that defense wins championships. But I think they get a lot of really good field position.
Sure they do.
So anyway, I'm just suggesting that those defensive numbers might be just a little bit deception.
Just like the A&M offensive numbers, right? Because there were a couple of weeks where they couldn't score.
When you had the transition with the new quarterback and injuries in the offensive line, yeah.
I mean, I remember going into the Mississippi State game saying, you've got to score 25 points to beat that team. You had just scored 2 out of your last 3 games, 10 points against Power 5 teams. So the A&M offense is not the same offense it was at that point. And people forget in the Mississippi State game, they were able to establish the running game.
Yeah, they were. They ran for like 162, 168 yards in that game. I always kind of tend to look at the last 3 games. I like to look at things in sets of 3 and see how you're trending. Offensively, I think A&M's trending pretty well. I think we can agree there.
Yeah, we got a 40-point game, a 35-point game, and a 22-point game.
And, let's face it, the 35-point game easily could have been more.
Yep.
So I think they're trending pretty well offensively. And then I look at South Carolina and how they're trending defensively and offensively. And, I just feel like the indicators, as we all know, point, at Texas A&M with, neon flashing lights.
You can't play dumb, though. You can't have dumb mistakes. You can't have drives that are brought back because of a holding penalty, and you can't have drop passes that we've seen this year quite a few of. You can't have passes that are behind the running back who could have had a 20-yard explosive play. I mean, you're going to have some of those because that's football. There are mistakes made. You just can't have a bunch of them. And when you make those mistakes, too, if you convert a 3rd and 14 and now it comes back and you're looking at now 3rd and 25, no, please don't do that.
Yeah, it's what it's just the reality of football is. This is one of those games, at least I believe it to be, that if it's close, it's because A&M allows it to be close by their own missteps, right? If A&M plays a clean game, I think they're going to win by a very comfortable margin.
If this game is close, then this team is not as good as I think that they can be.
Define close.
If it's a one-score game in the fourth quarter, I'm going to be a little disappointed. Yeah. Now, how you got to that one-score game, if you're allowing South Carolina to make big plays on you and, they're getting picks on you, and then I'm going to be a little disappointed. If it, again, I'm like you. If you just do what you do, you're going to win comfortably. If comfortably means 21 points or it means 27 points, I don't know. You're going to win comfortably. The Missouri game, they won comfortably. We all wanted it to be more points. That game was never in doubt.
Right.
There was never a point I'm like, ew.
There was a point where I was thinking, okay, is Missouri going to get back into it?
Yes.
But I never thought that they would lose. And then Calzada and Smith connected on that
3rd and 17.
That 3rd and 17, and then, touchdown, and then it's okay, put this one to bed.
How big has he been? I mean, Anaya Smith.
He's, not so much in stature,
no,
but definitely in status.
When you need a third down conversion, you can count on him. When you need a big pass, when you need a game-tying touchdown, who finds the way to get open and make it?
He always does, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he had that big catch. I think it was Anais, the big slant to help set up the field goal against Alabama.
Yeah.
I think on the next play, they threw deep to Weidemeyer and got the interception, but they got the first down with Anais.
Now that I think about it, was that the same play that he threw a pick on in the Missouri game? I need to watch those two plays again. I need to go check that, just as we're talking out loud.
Well, the Missouri pick was to A-chain deep out, wasn't it? Because it was in the end zone.
It was in the end zone.
So it was about a 25-yard pass.
Okay.
And it was with him moving toward the he was almost to the sideline.
I think I'm mixing up the two games because in my mind I was thinking Weidemeyer. But regardless, he can't throw those interceptions off his back heel into a bad throw, and sometimes you just got to make the safe throw. Just make the safe throw, especially when you're up at that point. What was it, 21 they were up?
Well, they were up 28. I think they were up 28-7 at the time. Yeah, 21-point lead. And
could have got into the half,
35-7, and broke Missouri's will, gave them a reason to believe that they could get back into it.
By the way, if you want to join the A&B text line, thank you. You can do that at 979-693-1150. A&B, a College Station branch of the Amarillo National Bank. Good Texas banking. The website, anb.com. We will also open up the BCSI Associates hotline. 979-693-1150 is that number. The topic of the day. We do this on Fridays. What are the headlines going to be after the South Carolina game? I don't have a splashy one. I don't even have a good one, but we'll have one here to share. And if you guys want to do that, please go ahead and text or call the program. Right now, though, let's say hello to the room. Dalton Hughes, good morning to you, sir.
Oh, good. Happy Friday. How are y'all?
Happy Friday. You having microphone issues there?
Yeah. I don't know what button to hit.
No,
I've only had it the same way for like 5 years now. Who would have thought?
So how was your household last night during the baseball playoff action going on?
He was pretty quiet.
Yeah.
I think apathy set in whether they win or lose, at least last night. Now I think he has that dirty 4-letter word called hope.
Hope.
So we'll see.
We will.
He has to watch A&M and work while the Dodgers play on Saturday.
Hope is a good thing, maybe the best thing. Who said it?
Until it's not.
John Lennon.
I think it was actually Andy Dufresne from the Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, is that what he said?
I'd rather be in Zen Watanehu this weekend, if we're being honest.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Let's move on and say hello to Tomas Romo, who's at the News and Social Center. Good morning to you, Tomas. I love when you turn on your mic.
My mic should be on now. Is it there?
Hey,
is it working
buddy.
for y'all? There we go.
Hey,
there we go.
buddy. Good morning.
I got two things for you guys. First off, Aggie soccer drops 2-1 decision at Mississippi State. A&M had a 1-0 lead early in the game, but the Bulldogs scored in the final 4 minutes to take the 2-1 W.
Yeah, that has happened to the Ags so much this year. Like those just painful losses at the end, just the way they give up goals, a late goal. I think it was even the first game of the season. They gave up like a goal in like the 88th minute, whatever it was. Just late in that game. What else you got, Tomas?
A&M and Lamar battle in fall expedition tonight. Texas A&M baseball returns to action when they host the Lamar Cardinals. First pitch is slated for 6:02. The game is free and open to the public, as well as limited free parking. The team's last play in 2019 with the Aggies winning 10-7.
Thank you very much.
I don't know what Lamar's like in baseball now, but there was a time
They were
when
pretty good,
they
right?
were really good.
Yeah.
I remember them getting really shafted. This might have been in the 80s in a series, playoff series in Austin. They had them beat, and there were some real controversial calls late. But I think the old coach's name was Mickey Gilligan. Or
Mickey Gilligan.
Or
okay.
Gilligan. Maybe not Mickey, but Gilligan was Jim Gilligan.
I remember going to do a story on Lamar when I think it was at Channel 13, where Pat Knight was the coach. Not the nicest fellow in the world.
Well, who did he learn it from?
Nah, his pops.
You know, wasn't Billy Tubbs there once?
That sounds right.
Yeah,
sounds right.
They were really good then too.
They were good. All right, when we come
By
back.
the way, Billy Tubbs, not the nicest guy.
Not
in
the
world.
nicest guy. We can make a list, and I think we should, and check it twice. Hey, when we come back, we'll do a little Pick 6 action here on TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. Right now, though, let's talk about the Association of Former Students. That is a great name. Great name. And I love what they do out there. They've been doing it for so long, over 140 years. The gifts that the Aggie Network has given to that group has empowered the association to be here, there, and everywhere for Texas A&M and Aggies everywhere. And if you're like me, you just kind of forgot to renew 1 year, and a year goes by, 2 years goes by. You're like, it's time. You know how you know it's time? When you buy that new vehicle and you don't have your sticker, right? You need that decal in the back of your car, guys. That's just what we need to do here as good Aggies out there. And they have just done so much, and you can be a part of it too, and it's not expensive at all, $100 a year. For that, it's roughly $9 a month, by the way. You're going to get the plaque, the decal, and the Texas Aggie magazine. Plus, you're continuing in the oldest, most inspiring tradition of Aggies helping other Aggies out there. To learn more about the impact of the association, make a gift, or get involved, visit aggienetwork.com/giving.
You're listening to The Zone. Aggie Land's all sports station.
Howdy, y'all. This is Cullen Gillespie, former 12th man. I've always tried to help my team on and off the field. And now I'd like to help Texas A&M fans like you cut their electricity bills in half. Yep, in half. It takes less than 5 minutes and you'll save hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars every year. 90% of Texans overpay for electricity, so don't be one of them. Sign up today at energyogre.com and use code GILLY, G-I-L-L-Y, for a free month of service.
Join the American Heart Association for the Brazos Valley Go Red for Women Luncheon. On Thursday, November 4th, you'll learn how you can take charge of your heart health and empower others to do the same. Guest speaker is well-known humorist and motivational speaker Sally Baskey. Go Red for Women is presented nationally by CVS Health and locally by the Donald A. Adam Family Foundation. Go to brazoscountygored.heart.org for more. See you November 4th.
The flagship station for Aggie Athletics is The Zone. Whenever the Aggies are playing, you can hear them right here at 1150 and 93.7 FM. Thanks to our listeners and our Aggie broadcast sponsors, Pioneer Steel, Gulf States Toyota, and Amarillo National Bank. Here's a big gig 'em to all these sponsors. Listen to Aggie Athletics on The Zone 1150 and 93.7 FM.
At Social Security, we are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why we created My Social Security. Opening a My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal record and interactive tools tailored for you. You can see if you are eligible to receive benefits, view spousal benefit estimates, and compare retirement benefit estimates at different ages or dates when you want to start receiving benefits. Already receiving benefits? Use your account to change your address, set up or change direct deposit, get a proof of income letter, and more. In most states, you can also request a replacement Social Security card. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
The best is yet to come in College Station.
2 seconds left. 28-yard attempt by Seth Small. Is down. It is up. And the fighting Texas Aggies take down the top-ranked Tide.
Join us Saturday. The Aggies host the South Carolina Gamecocks. Our coverage begins at 5:30 on your home for Aggies football, the Texas A&M Sports Network.
Listen to Aggie football on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Online at radioaggieland.com or tell your smart speaker to play Zone 1150.
It is TexAgs Radio. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio, the official insurance provider of TexAgs Radio. The difference is real. Rollo Insurance, an independent insurance company built around educating you on exactly what you're paying for, doing the shopping for you so that you can accomplish all of your insurance goals. Their headquarters right here in College Station, right off of Highway 6. Call 888-44-ROLLO or go to rolloinsurance.com. All right, my good friend Olin Buchanan. It is time now to do a little Pick Six action here on the program. And I was just trying to say hello to my friends on YouTube, but my volume was a little too loud. So let's go right into it, OB. We will start off with the Aggies. South Carolina 4-3, 1-3 in the SEC. At number 17, Texas A&M 5-2, 2-2 in the SEC. That is a 6:30 start at Kyle Field on the SEC Network. A&M is favored, according to Gabe Bach, by 20.5.
Well, like I said, I'm looking at the way both teams are trending, and I would take Texas A&M and give the points.
I'm giving the points as well. I think A&M is going to win that game. I hope it's more than 20 points for sure, and I think it will be. We move on to LSU, who I don't know what team is showing up. 4-3, 2-2 in the SEC. At number 12, Ole Miss. There have been questions about Matt Corral's health. 5-1, 2-1 in the SEC. 2:30 start. Their CBS broadcast. Ole Miss is favored to win by 9.5.
Yeah, if I knew that Corral was not playing, I would take LSU.
Yep.
But I'm going to go on the assumption that he's still playing and that, both of these defenses are poor.
Yep.
So, but I think that Ole Miss's offense is more likely to consistently exploit
LSU,
the other defense,
yep.
right? So I'm going to take, under the assumption that Corral's playing, I am taking Ole Miss and giving the points.
I am as well. Now, Matt Corral not playing changes the game completely, but we don't have that information.
And as of now, he's playing.
He is playing as of now. Yep. Move on to number 3, which is Tennessee. They're 4-3 on the year, 2-2 in the SEC. At number 4, Alabama. Alabama 6-1, 3-1 in the SEC, Bryant-Denny Stadium. ESPN broadcast. Bama favored by 24.5 points, which is a kind of a big number, but Tennessee's not very good. They just can score.
Yeah, I'm taking Alabama.
I am too.
And I don't know that Tennessee can really score when they're playing good teams.
That's a great point. That is a very, very good point. And I think, Saban, he's got his guys focused right now after the A&M debacle, which, by the way, I think they were focused for that one too.
Yeah, 14 straight Tennessee wins in that series.
Against Tennessee, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Here's one that I find the line interesting and where I'm going to go interesting as well. You have number 8, Oklahoma State. They're 6-0. They're undefeated. At Iowa State, who is not ranked. 4-2, 2:30 start there at Jack Trice Stadium. It is on Fox. And Iowa State, the unranked team at home, is favored by almost a touchdown by 6.5.
Yeah, I'm not really surprised. I think Iowa State wins, but I'm taking Oklahoma State to cover, so I'll take the points.
Buddy, that's exactly what I think. I think Iowa State's going to win this game, but it's going to be closer than that. And I'm still not convinced about Oklahoma State. I'm not, and I think Iowa State's a good home team, so I agree with you there. Here's one that I've talked myself in and out of, but then I just keep going back to history this year. Clemson's just not a very good football team, but here's our fifth game. Clemson 4-2, 3-1 in the ACC at number 23 Pittsburgh, 2:30 start. Heinz Field. Pitt is favored by 2.5.
Would you say that Clemson may have to play catch up at Heinz Field? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Dad joke.
Dad joke. Yeah. No, I'm taking Clemson.
You are.
I'm going to take Clemson in the points.
I was going to. I just am not convinced with their offense at all. I'm not convinced by Pitt either, but I'm taking Pitt in this one.
I can see that. That's probably the smart pick. I can't believe Clemson has fallen this far. That, I'm going to believe they're going to figure stuff out just enough.
They can still win the ACC.
I know they can.
And then it'll be a down year, but a normal year.
This could be the first of two matchups between Clemson and Pitt.
That's exactly right. All right, how about the last game on our pick six, which, again, I've talked myself in and out of several times, but I'm going to go smart here. USC, 3-3, at number 13, Notre Dame. They're 5-1. They're not very good, but they find ways to win most games. 6:30 start there at Notre Dame Stadium. NBC broadcast. Notre Dame favored by 6.5.
Yeah, I'm going to take Notre Dame.
Give them the points on that one, right?
Yeah, maybe need to take a shower for picking them to win. But
they're at home.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big fan of USC either.
USC's not very good, and I believe they have not won there in their last 4 tries. Not that necessarily means anything.
I actually covered that game once.
Did you?
In South Bend, and USC just pummeled them. Of course, that was a Pete Carroll USC team.
I've never been to South Bend. I'd like to. It's one of those games I'd like to do.
I've been there during the spring, and I've been there for a game day. And game day, it's pretty cool. The spring, you might as well look for tumbleweeds, blowing down the middle of town because there's nothing going on there during the spring.
Yeah, I just don't know about Notre Dame to me is in the same category as Oklahoma. Oklahoma obviously might have figured things out at the quarterback spot, which makes them better. But a team that's not that good, that won games that they could have lost so easily early on, and I haven't seen the improvement. I've seen the improvement from Oklahoma because of the quarterback. But like A&M, they obviously didn't play where they needed to play. But I've seen improvement since. I haven't seen it from Notre Dame, but they have won games.
Yeah, and again, like you just said, in USC, what about USC makes you think that they're going to go on the road and cover, much less win?
Nothing.
And you know what? If it comes down to this, I'll take Brian Kelly over whoever the interim coach is, the former receiver. I don't know his name.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm going to go with the Fighting Irish, the Frightened Irish.
We talked to a Notre Dame insider, said, and most insiders would say this, but Brian Kelly is not interested in that LSU job, as he shouldn't be.
Well, if I was him, I sure would be, but he's got a good situation at Notre Dame.
He's got a really good situation, but here's the problem with LSU. Those sanctions eventually looming, I think, should play a part in a coach's...
Well, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Because you would think that at some point the NCAA is going to show, maybe not fangs, but some teeth.
Some teeth. I equate it in a completely different stakes and ball game to the Deshaun Watson stuff I'm hearing, that there's talks that he might be traded this week to the Miami Dolphins. And I'm like, how, if you're the Dolphins, can you make a trade with his legal issues still weighing out there? And you're not going to make the playoffs this year. You're 1-5. Now, the thinking is that they would bring him back and let him serve any kind of suspension now since the season is lost. I don't do that trade at all. And if I'm Brian Kelly, who I've got a top 10 team built in every year at Notre Dame, and why would I take the chance? Or Dabo, why would I take the chance at LSU? Sure, you can win a national championship there. Dabo's won one there at Clemson. Brian Kelly's gotten close at Notre Dame.
Yeah, well,
I'm just saying with the sanctions looming.
Right. So you're saying that kind of the whole idea kind of rubs you the wrong way.
It does rub me the wrong way.
Kind of the same thing that got Deshaun in trouble.
Look at you. Always. I used to call them dad jokes. They're like grandpa jokes now. They're
well, the older I get,
they're good though. They're good. I pulled a Dalton on you. Hey, let me talk about Milliken Reserve right now. Love that place, farm to table community in College Station, featuring homes, trails, farms, and wide open spaces. Their mission is to build a healthy community around nature, and we go there all the time. Once a week, we go pick up the veggies. Love the area. I just do. It's just a beautiful place. I love land, and they've got that all out there. They've got a healthy community. They've got great landscape. They've got 2,600 acres of open space. They've got farms, and I love the farms there. I pick up those veggies, 30 miles of trails and homes. They like to connect families to nature. And that's one of the beauties of living here in College Station, where you have a part of it feeling like a big city, but also you can get away and get to that small town feel, and that's exactly what they have out there, connecting you with nature. Love Milliken Reserve. You can become a member of their conservancy without a doubt. As a member, you'll help ensure that the native landscape and wildlife also is restored and keeps benefits like access to the trails, member activities, programs, and events. To learn more at Milliken Reserve, go to millikenreserve.com.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on The Zone. Come out to the inaugural Fun for All golf tournament on Monday, October 25th at Traditions Club. Visit funforallplaygroundbcs.com for details. Come out to a fundraiser concert on Friday, October 29th at the 101 in downtown Bryan. Proceeds benefit Texas A&M's KANM Student Radio. The music starts at 8:30. Keep Brazos Beautiful is hosting their annual tree sale fundraiser on October 29th and 30th at the Brazos Center in Bryan. More information is online at keepbrazosbeautiful.org. Pride Community Center is hosting the annual Big Gay 5K and Barbecue on Saturday, October 30th at Lake Walk in Bryan. Visit pridecc.org for more details. You can hear Houston Astros baseball all postseason long on Sports Radio 1150 AM, 93.7 FM, and select games on Gospel 97.3 FM, thanks to Kelly Burt Dozer. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
There's a Kubota for every job. There's a Kubota for every harvest. There's a Kubota for every task. And at Normandy Tractor, for a limited time only, take the drive to Normandy, Texas, and let Vernon and the boys show you what they have. Get the new Kubota BX 1880 16.6 horsepower tractor and a Kubota loader with a quick attach bucket now through December 31st, 2021. For a cash price of only $12,950, or payments as low as $170 per month. With no money down, based on 0% down, 1.99% APR for 84 months. Normandy Tractor has over 8 acres of Kubota tractors, Kubota RTVs, ATVs, and Kubota mowers to choose from. They're at the corner of Highway 39 and OSR in Normandy, Texas. And remember, nobody beats Normandy Tractor. Nobody.
Now through December 31st, 2021. For warranty terms, see Kubota's limited warranty at KubotaUSA.com or your Kubota dealer.
Our publications reach every corner of the Brazos Valley, and we want to partner with you in sharing your message with the community. You may recognize a few of our Bryan Broadcasting publications.
Best of the Brazos Valley.
Brazos Life, the annual manual.
Welcome home, Brazos Valley.
Brazos Family.
Brazos Wellness.
Brazos Valley Bride.
Peace, Brazos Christian Life.
With the combined power of 7 magazine titles, 11 radio stations, and digital solutions, Bryan Broadcasting Publications can help you be heard. Call 979-695-9595 to learn more.
Aggie football game day on the Zone starts 3 hours before kickoff with the Twin Peaks pregame show powered by TexAgs.com. Game Day on the Zone is brought to you in part by Higginbotham Insurance, Stephen Gustitis, attorney at law, Tradition, Mobile One Oil and Lube, and Gage Gandy Bail Bonds. After you listen to the Twin Peaks pregame show powered by TexAgs.com, listen to every single Aggie football game right here on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
It is TexAgs Radio. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Big thanks to our presenting sponsor, though, David Gardner and Julie Gardner. They do such great work here for the community, and, that place has been around forever. I remember driving by it back in my school days, 911 University Drive East in College Station. They've got Rolexes. They've got the David Yurman collection. They've got it all out there. You want a signature bracelet to add to your stack. David Gardner's Jewelers. You can shop them online at davidgardnersjewelers.com. So I peruse. I go through the YouTube page. I go through our TexAgs live page as well, and I'm seeing what people are saying. And here's one. First off, Cat D11 Ag, which is heading out to Gulf Shores. So
nice.
3 hours
Wish
of
I was
TexAgs
going.
radio. So props to you for making that drive, and thank you so much for entrusting us on your drive as you listen to us on the drive. Good Poster says the go hour should be 3 hours long. I could listen to David and OB the whole show.
I'm sure I would end up getting fired. I don't know if
Yeah,
for
you
3 hours I could go without getting myself in significant trouble.
You would get fired. There's no doubt about that. But I thought, we're talking about funny headlines that we could do for this game. I have a name of that show. I've used this line before. It would be the Oh No Show.
Yeah.
Oh no, not those three again. Or those two, I should say. All right, let's get into 3 things that we want to see, OB. You want to take it first?
Sure. I want to see a strong running game.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to see a good pass rush. I want to see I think that if you can get this grad transfer, my man Zeb, under pressure, I think you're going to be in really good shape. And then I want to see that turnover streak continue. The Aggies have been getting turnovers. I want to.
Is it 3 straight games? 2 straight games?
I think it's 2. But I could be wrong on that. But I want to see that continue. So
they didn't get one against Mississippi State?
I would have to go back and look.
I don't remember that. I do remember
one.
Bama, and I obviously remember Missouri.
2 big ones against Alabama and 2 against Missouri, right?
Yeah.
So continue getting 2 turnovers. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see A&M run the ball extremely well. You know what? I'm even going to take out the turnovers because everybody says that, right? Everybody always. So I want to see the pass rush, the running game. I want to see Zach Calzada hit the short passes.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. All 3 of mine are offensive, basically, because I do trust this defense, especially when the offense is playing kind of well. I feel the defense is much better than when the offense isn't playing all that well, right? And there's a reason for that. So the first thing, and I talked about it at the top of the show, I want to see some clean football. And clean football, it encapsulates what you said a moment ago, but it goes deeper than that, right? No dumb turnovers, right? None of these bad plays where you throw into double coverage off your back heel, or a wide receiver tries to catch a ball, pops out of his hands, and turns into none of that. I don't want to see any of that. But it also means no dumb penalties. Clean football. Just do what you've done the last couple of weeks, which has been pretty smart football overall. You win that game easily. The other thing I want to see, you ever watch the movie with Sylvester Stallone, Over the Top?
Yeah.
Great movie.
Bull, what's his name? Bull, the bad guy.
Oh, yeah. What was his name?
Gosh, I used to know this without a doubt.
I used to do the hat backwards move.
Bull Hurley?
Bull Hurley.
Bull Hurley.
You mean Ryan Brauninger?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Good call. Would Ryan Brauninger win a arm wrestling competition against everyone in this building?
Probably not you.
No, he'd
with
beat
those
me.
big guns.
He'd beat me. I'd beat him in a push-up contest, no doubt, 100%.
How many push-ups you going to do?
In a row?
Yeah.
I'm assuming 100. Okay. I'm assuming.
I think I could get half of that.
I know you can.
Yeah.
I think Bronny could probably knock out a nice 78 before he gets tired. That's my guess. Dalton, how many can you do right now?
Bronny has a lot of weight to push up.
A few.
Zane, 13?
With those noodle arms, are you kidding me?
Zane couldn't eat a push-up. You know those push-up ice creams?
I'm going to ask people on the A&B text line and on
Sorry,
the
Richard.
BCSI hotline, if we did because we talked about this when the show started, doing some sports events and some running and some push-ups. Would you guys watch that if we put little vignettes on YouTube of Olin versus Bronny in a push-up contest, or Zane versus, who would Zane? Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go there. Zane versus somebody in an arm wrestling contest. Would you pay to watch that? Could we put that behind another paywall? I'd pay for that.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, so I need to go back to what I was trying to talk about. Over the top like Sylvester Stallone, right? It's been a while. I think that the Aggies haven't thrown downfield deep. Now, I don't know if Caleb Chapman is going to play this week. I hope he does. I think he'll be back soon, maybe against Auburn, right? Maybe this weekend. Or maybe never. But I hope he comes back. It looked like, I think Jimbo said we'll see when it was asked about Caleb Chapman. We'll see. I don't know what that means. That didn't sound promising for this weekend. But I would love to see the Aggies go deep. And you have to do that by establishing the run and the short passes.
So you're looking for like the 50-yard
Yes.
rainbow pass. Because
Yes.
they kind of threw deep last week to A-Chain.
Sure. Yeah, I want to see more of that.
Okay.
I want to see a deep one.
Go the deep post to
Didn't
to
Caleb
Demas
have
or
one against
somebody.
Kent State? And Demas had one against New Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, okay.
I want that. I mean,
We all do.
Yeah, I want it bad. All right. And
I want it now.
time of possession.
Mhm.
I think the Aggies, with this kind of team, with the defense that they have, and now that the running game is back, I think they need to go back to over 30 minutes of game. So they are right now right around 29 minutes and 44 seconds per game. That's number 60 in the country. I want that number to be closer to what it was last year, which was in the mid-30s, 35, right? I'm not saying you're going to get it every week, but how about 33 minutes of possession? By the way, South Carolina does better with time of possession against inferior opponents that A&M has played, but they're at 30-44, number 54 in the country. Here's another thing, because I like to look things up. Auburn, I thought they would run the ball better. Their time of possession is below what A&M does overall this year at 28 minutes and 40 seconds a game. So I want to see that number up.
Yes. Ditto. All those things. I'm with you. Yeah, I am surprised at Auburn's rushing numbers. You hear so much about Tank Bigsby, and he is very talented.
Yeah.
And they got another guy that they really like, but it's not like Auburn's just running up down the field on people.
So here's a text message on the A&B text line, because apparently people like this conversation about TexAgs Olympics.
Oh.
Here's one from a 281 number. Says people always overestimate their push-up count. No chance Bronny goes 78. What do you think Bronny does? 44? I just dropped it a lot.
Yeah, 44.
And what do you think you could do right now? I'm not going to have you do it and pull like a chest muscle, but what do you think you could do?
I think I could do 50.
Nonstop.
Yeah. Now, understand that I hate to do the caveat thing. I have injuries.
Yeah.
So my chest is not going to touch the floor.
Okay.
But I can get to a 90-degree angle, when you're down.
Yeah.
Which I think is what the military requires.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think I could probably, I haven't done a push-up contest in a while. I will tell you this, and Chase in Houston's probably listening right now. They challenged me once on 1560 the game.
Uh-huh.
That was a long time ago. I haven't worked there since my 30s. And they said, you can't do 100. And I knocked out 100 without warming up.
Yeah.
So I think I can still do that.
Back in the day, I'd do like 50 with 1 foot up, with 1 foot raised.
Yeah?
Just so bam.
I think Liucci could probably knock out a good 65 now. Yeah. I think so. Here's Chase in Houston says, I'll pay to see Zane talk to drunk co-eds on Fridays. I like watching people make people look silly in workouts as well. So,
who could we get Zane to box? Maybe we need to get a boxing match set up. Zane against somebody. Who would Richard want to box?
Like, are there people in the media that he's against?
I don't know. I mean, just
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time on this, but I'm enjoying the thinking of But we could find somebody. I'm sure there's somebody he could box.
Any suggestions there, Dalton, for Richard's boxing match?
I'm in his corner, so I can't comment on unscheduled fights.
Thumb wrestle. We'd pay for that as well. Hey, so couple final things on those thoughts. So I think everything we've said is things that we all want, obviously. But in this game, if they win the time of possession, which they will, in my opinion, they will, they're able to knock down a pass that goes over the top, and they don't have turnovers, they're going to win by 28 points. They do those three things. I think the defense is good enough, and obviously the defense is good enough. Zeb Nolan, I think, is going to be running for his friggin' life.
I do. I think the South Carolina has some real trouble in pass protection.
They do. Now, they have, I believe I read that their secondary is pretty – they have a safety that's up there with interceptions, right?
Yeah, he has 4.
Yeah.
He had 2 in one game, maybe against East Carolina. He hadn't had 1 in the last 3 games, though.
So, and we've got –
he's a guy that started his career at Gardner-Webb.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got Leon O'Neal, who I think has 3 on the year, right? 2 in one
well,
game.
He would have 4 if he could
Which game was it that he should have held on to it?
Well, he's had two that's been nullified by
that's
penalties.
right. Yeah.
And then one he almost had that just turned into a good breakup.
Yep.
So, yeah, Leon's playing great. I think Leon's playing at an all-SEC level.
Yeah, he's playing great. And I think Damani's starting to really feel himself as well. A couple of big games, and he's somebody I hope comes back next year. I'll just say that.
Well, we still got a half a season to go, but sitting here today, I think it'd behoove him to do so.
Yeah, I think so as well. Want to talk about my buddy Chance McClain and Heritage Films. Check out their website, yourheritagefilm.com. They make awesome documentary films about you, your father, your brother, OB over here, somebody, because we all have a great story. We all do. I don't care who you are. When I worked at Channel 13, my one of the big things that I like doing was features on just send me to a school, I'll find a kid to tell a story about, because everybody's got a story. Whatever it may be, all you have to do is ask the right questions and you can find out that story. And that's what Chance McClain does better than anyone. Christmas is coming around the corner, guys. It is perfect time to reach out to him and get one of his documentaries. And, what an amazing gift to give to your family if you are the patriarch, if you will. It's just a great gift. It tells your story, how you got where you are, where you lived, what street you lived on, some of the challenges you went through in high school. And remember, guys, we are not promised tomorrow. So if you're putting this off, don't, because you are not promised to tell this story later. For years we told my dad, write down your story. And he started doing it, but it's taken like 10 years. How about Chance does it for you in a couple hours, comes to your house, knocks it all out. And you just need to go to yourheritagefilm.com. Do it right now, yourheritagefilm.com, 713-893-8341, 713-893-8341.
It's TexAgs Radio, weekday mornings from 8 to 11 here on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
Aggie football is here, and Texas A&M Transportation Services offers parking and shuttle options. Pay $25 cash to park near Bush Library, Bonfire Memorial, or Agronomy Road. Ride the free Downtown Bryan shuttle. For pre- and post-game traffic and parking info, or to purchase parking before the game, visit Destination Aggieland within the TAMU app, download the Park Mobile app, or visit transport.tamu.edu/football.
For those parking with an annual permit, be ready to show us your permit barcode printed on paper or on your smartphone screen. Follow us on Twitter at @GetToAggieGame.
Howdy, this is Steve Bledsoe, fighting Texas Aggie class of '83, with some exciting news. Verabank is now open with our new full-service location on Highway 6 in College Station. With personal bankers, business bankers, Verabank has everything you need in one convenient location. Come see for yourself, where genuine banking is waiting for you, and you can bank on it.
Visit verabank.com today. That's VERA bank.com. Verabank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Bryan Broadcasting is your home for high school football. Bryan High, A&M Consolidated, Rudder, and College Station High play on the Bryan Broadcasting family of stations. No matter where you are, hear every play, every game, all season long, thanks to Amarillo National Bank, Glenn College, BCS Toyota, and Ed Phillips Plumbing. To find out when and where to hear your favorite team, go to brazosfootball.com.
The strength of America, our values, our way of life hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together, extending hands of compassion, service, and hope to those who need it most. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities across our nation by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during times like we're facing today. It's what the Legion's all about. From blood drives to distributing food, from responding to emergencies and protecting the most vulnerable among us. Our mission is making America's communities stronger.
We are one family, and therefore we care.
We are the American Legion, veterans strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
You listen to Astros baseball all season long on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM, plus select games on Gospel 97.3 FM, thanks to Kelly Burt Dozer. Now, you've been listening to Astros postseason baseball on the Zone and Gospel, again, thanks thanks to Kelly Burt Dozer. Astros Baseball on Brian Broadcasting is brought to you, and thank you to Kelly Burt Dozer.
TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. So I think we need to have a show behind the show. So during the break, good old Olin Buchanan said, I'm going to see how many push-ups I can do. This man just did 50 push-ups. Now, not the cleanest push-ups, but very good for what he was dealing with in studio. And he was doing it, and he's breathing a little hard, but that's okay. Where Logan had to come in the studio, like, what in the world are you guys doing? And Dalton came in like, oh, goodness. Olin, I'll give you credit, my friend. They were very good push-ups based on what the kind of push-up you described you were going to do.
He can't just say, hey, he did 50 push-ups. Got to qualify it, but okay.
I mean, it's like when I go to the gym and I see people do curls, and they're actually like swinging their elbows up here, and they're doing way more weight than they should be. You're not really doing the curl. You actually did a very good push-up, my friend.
Oh, thank you. It was funny because he asked Logan, he said, can you do 50 push-ups? And Logan went, Olin did 50? Yeah, I can do 50.
No, he said he doesn't think he could do 50. That's what he said.
I don't believe him. Logan's in really good shape.
Yeah, he looks like he's in good shape. He can knock out 50.
Yeah, you and Logan are the type of guys that just piss me off. You know, you've been handsome your whole life. You've never had to deal with going through life with a mug like this.
You're right. So far everything you're saying is correct.
It just, everything comes easy to you.
Not everything. I'm 5'10", all right? Everybody here towers over me.
Not everybody.
Well, not Zane.
Yeah.
I think I'm taller than Zane.
Dalton,
5'10's
not short. It's average height.
It's when you work with athletes, you feel very short. How about that?
Yeah, I do. I've got a picture of me interviewing Myles Garrett.
Dude. And we may have said this off air. When did he become a bodybuilder?
He once made the statement that he wants to look like a Greek god. And I think now Greek gods want to look like him.
Myles. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. All right. So, by the way, if I should have videoed that push-up. I would have put it. I should have. I just didn't. But I didn't want. And I made you laugh.
I would have been
at one
subject
point.
to ridicule. Yes.
You would have done maybe 60 had I not made you laugh. That was my fault.
No, because I'm already having like pec cramps here.
Yeah. It's time for Bank On It, presented by Vera Bank. Authentic relationship-based banking built for real life. Go see our good friend Joel Jackson and the team. Learn more at verabank.com. Logan's laughing at OB breathing hard. All right, so what are we banking on, my friend?
I'm banking on, man, how can you not bank on Isaiah Spiller? Man, that guy has become the most, the easiest deposit to make. It's going to pay off with interest. Isaiah Spiller is just having a tremendous season, and 150 yards at least I'm banking on from Isaiah. 150 at least.
I hope so. I love when they run the ball well. So I'm banking on, maybe you've heard of this guy, Anaya Smith. He's pretty good at football. He will score 2 touchdowns. Again. And he's going, if he does that, he will be tying Mike Evans for 7th all-time at A&M. And just to remind people, he has scored 2 touchdowns in 2 out of his last 3 games. I fully expect to see Anais do that.
I think Isaiah Spiller needs about 160 yards, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, to break into A&M's top 10 all-time rushing list.
Trying to see if I have the game notes here. Let's see. He is Isaiah Spiller remains SEC's top rushers. He's 150 yards away from cracking the top 10 A&M's all-time career rushing
list. He's going to pass Christian Michael.
See, Mike. Good stuff. All right, so OB, some final thoughts here in the last few minutes of the Go Hour. Things we cannot see against South Carolina.
Well, I think you can't see A&M giving up big plays. You can't see the mistakes that just keep a team in the game. You don't want to miss the field goals if you have to. First of all, you don't want to have to settle for field goals, but if you do, you don't want to miss them. Right. You don't want to miss a tackle that turns into a big play. You don't want to get scoring opportunities and waste them, because that's how you let a team that's not as good as you are have a chance to win.
Yep.
So, those are things I don't want to see. Big penalties, like you just said, there's going to be penalties, but you can't have the 8 penalties for 80 yards type of thing. If it's 5 for 25 or 30 yards, okay, you can live with that.
So we agree. And early on the season, we all thought that A&M would probably have their way with Colorado. We thought, the New Mexico game, they won, but we were just underwhelmed in that game. But we all believe, I think, and tell me if I'm speaking correctly here, that if A&M plays the game that we know that they can play now, right? The games that we've seen the last 3 weeks, they win this game easily if they do what they normally do.
I think so. I think they can get a comfortable victory. Again, if it's not a comfortable win, in my opinion, it's going to be because A&M had the pratfalls that allowed South Carolina to stay in contention.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's been a fun week, my friend.
Yeah.
No roadie for us. How you feeling? I'm going to read you this. B-Scan sends we should put Olin on Life Alert. So
no, I'm better.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
As you get older, it does get harder to get up when you've been on the ground. But
really?
But I got up.
You got up, no problem. I'm telling you, I was impressed. Now, I got to be honest with you. The push-ups were better than you described that they would be. They weren't Logan-esque.
I'll try some one-arm push-ups here in a minute.
Later on today, you're going to arm wrestle somebody.
Irma.
Hey, Irma came through in the clutch, my friend.
She did.
She brought you your computer.
She can drive like Mario Andretti when she has to.
School zones or not, doesn't matter. She's going to get you that computer. All right, guys, in the 9 o'clock hour, Billy Liucci joining the program. We're looking forward to talking to Mr. Luch for the hour. Obviously, he'll be here through 11 o'clock, and then it's the final countdown as the McKinney brothers come into studio. They're always strong. We'll have that and more here on TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
This is your home for TexAgs Radio. Louis Bellina. And Chip Howard. Now listen, this is The Zone, 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around, and every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect, in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage. The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
Like us on Facebook at Zone 1150. Follow us on Twitter at Zone 1150. Get connected now. Now. With Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. This is KZNE College Station, Bryan.
From WTAW, I'm Chelsea Reber with a news update on The Zone. The Texas A&M System Board of Regents is not ready to decide how to resolve conflicting pandemic orders from the governor and the president. That was one of several topics discussed yesterday behind closed doors. There was no public statement. A system spokesman tells WTAW News system lawyers continue to evaluate the impact and options. The president has ordered mandatory pandemic vaccinations for government contractors, which includes the system and the flagship campus. A College Station woman is arrested for the 3rd time in 5 months on aggravated assault charges. It's also the 13th time that 21-year-old Skylet Duffy has been in jail in the last 4 years. Duffy returned to jail Wednesday, and she's being held without bond for violating a protection order more than twice in the last 12 months. She was also arrested on a warrant for threatening a woman and her grandson with a gun last month. College Station police responding Wednesday at 3:30 in the morning to a citizen's report of someone who was passed out in an SUV leads to an arrest of a man wanted in a suburb of Atlanta, Georgia, on multiple charges. According to a Facebook post from police in Forest Park, Georgia, 21-year-old Gilberto Terran is wanted in a shooting death. According to online records from the Brazos County Jail, Terran was arrested on warrants for cruelty to children, possession of a gun during the commission of undisclosed felony crimes, reckless conduct, and violating probation. Taryn was arrested by CSPD for giving 2 false names and unlawful possession of a gun by a felon. State Representative Kyle Cassell of College Station has new territory in House District 12 due to redistricting. Cassell recently announced running for re-election in a district that now includes Madison, Grimes, Washington, and Walker counties.
I am looking forward to getting out and meeting these new people.
Cassell plans a farewell tour of sorts after losing Falls, Limestone, and the portion of McLennan County that includes the city of West. Cassell keeps Robertson County and the rest of Brazos County that is not part of HD 14. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
If you have a debit card, you're used to spending money. But what if your card actually ended up earning you money? That's not exactly normal, but that's what you can get at A&B. It's called Kasasa Cashback Checking. Don't mind the weird name. What you need to know is that it's a free account with cash rewards. Use your debit card for everyday purchases, and we'll pay you cash back every month. If that doesn't sound like normal banking, well, guess what? We're not a normal bank. So contact A&B today and ask for Kasasa or visit ANB.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Maroon U is your ultimate stop for brand name apparel, gifts, and accessories for the entire family. From Columbia, 47 brand, Yeti, Dooney & Burke, and Adidas. We're able to outfit you for every occasion. Visit Maroon U and our family of companies on Holloman Drive in College Station to shop the latest in brand name Aggie merchandise. Shop Maroon U today. Voted best in the Brazos best gift shop since 2016. Maroon never looked so good with Maroon U.
Good morning, sports fans. I'm Zach Taylor with your Aggie Sports Minute on The Zone. The Sports Minute is brought to you by Hilco Roofing and Supply. Call 936-825-0500 or click hilcosupply.com. Number 17, Texas A&M football is back in action tomorrow as the Aggies duke it out with South Carolina. Goes Jimbo Fisher with his assessment of the Gamecocks.
Shane's done a heck of a job with them defensively. They've created 16 turnovers on defense. Yeah. They blocked 3 punts. The returner averaged 31 yards a return on kickoffs. I mean, their field goal kicker is great. Experienced quarterback, great tailback. 6 is a heck of a van, is a heck of a receiver. Good veteran offensive line. Defensively, 2 tackles are top 10 players in the country. Number 1 is a great rush in, 7, 15 on the edges can rush. 2 physical backers. Corners can run. I mean, this is a very good team.
Fisher on his radio show earlier this week. Kickoff between the Ags and Gamecocks is tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. with coverage right here on The Zone. Nothing doing for Aggie women's soccer last night as the Maroon and White fell to Mississippi State 2-1. Miley Hayes scored the lone goal for the A&M, which falls to 2-5-1 in SEC play. 5th-ranked Equestrian is on the road today, kicking off conference competition against South Carolina. Things get underway this morning. And Aggie baseball returns to Bluebell this evening as it welcomes Lamar to town for a fall exhibition. First pitch is at 6 o'clock. And that's been your Aggie Sports Minute, brought to you by Hilco Roofing and Supply. On The Zone, I'm Zach Taylor.
The Liucci Hour Happy Hour is a must part of any Aggie football season. Join Billy Liucci of TexAgs and Zach Taylor, the Infomaniac, every Monday and Thursday at 6 at the Tap. Or listen in right here on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Liucci Hour Happy Hour every Monday, Thursday at 6 is brought to you by King Ranch Saddle Shop. Also brought to you in part by B&B Automotive. It's the Liucci Hour Happy Hour.
It is TexAgs Radio. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. In a moment, we're going to talk to Billy Liucci on the BCSI hotline. And, BCS is proud to announce their fall LASIK special. All you got to do is call 979-701-2020. Mention TexAgs and David Nuno sent you by, and you're going to get a free LASIK consult and $400 off of your custom LASIK surgery. I know a lot of you have thought about getting LASIK surgery done and thought about, I got to try to Houston, I got to go to Austin, I got to go here, there, whatever. You don't have to do that anymore because Dr. K and his wonderful team there at BCSI are delighted to give you a world-class LASIK eye surgery experience right here in the Brazos Valley. So make sure when you need something, you check out LASIK, or you check out the BCSI Associates and their awesome LASIK deals. They're doing great work over there. We really appreciate what Dr. K does. All right, we'll get Liucci here on the show in a moment. A couple things I want to get into with him. Obviously, the Bear Alexander news, the ripple effects of maybe some other guys that they'll look at, but also about South Carolina. That's obviously the game that's top of mind, and I think that is one that we need to see. Are they better than we thought? So we'll do that. We'll go to the BCSI hotline right now, and we are joined by Billy Liucci. Good morning, Billy.
Nuno.
Hey.
It's a Nuno Friday.
It's a Nuno Friday. That is right, buddy. How are you?
Did you say Nuno?
Oh, yeah, it's Nuno. It's not Nuno. It's Nuno.
Steve's coming. It's Nuno Friday.
Oh, you're right.
You've got Steve, or who's the other one that can't pronounce it right?
Peter Burns, who I've known for 15 years. Yeah.
Steve or I don't know what we could call Burns besides Burns. You can't really mess that one up.
Bernay. And young Richard Zane called me Nuno's on the board yesterday too. So there's that.
With an S.
Yeah, with the Z. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I hope his Dodgers lose today just for that. You happy what you're seeing in there in the
Probably
ALCS?
I'm loving it, man. I can't say that it was expected.
Nope.
But with the way that series was going and being at Fenway, and I feel like playing at Fenway is just the same as heading into Game 5 there, David. I was like, Red Sox better win this one, because even when it was Game 4, like, they better not let it get back to Houston, even if the Astros had to win 2 at home. But we know how that atmosphere is. We know how well, the Stros hit at home, how that stadium's suited for them. But really, I wouldn't say it's that much different at Fenway, the way that the Astros drop bombs over that monster. So, someone was telling me they dropped the Astros suck prior to Game 4. Well, we're going to go watch the Astros, but they're sucking it up. And I said, you don't watch a whole lot of baseball, and certainly don't watch a whole lot of the Astros, right? All it takes is with this team is for 2 of those guys to step up in the lineup on a given day. They might win, 5-4, and this thing completely different. And they didn't only do that, but they just, starting at 9th inning the other day, they've just been running roughshod over the Red Sox, and I don't see it stopping. I think that series ends tonight.
I hope so. I don't want it to go to a Game 7 and give them a little rest. And who knows with McCullers? I know it looks like he's probably.
Well, the pitching scares you.
Yeah. Hey,
the pitching is scary.
Little South Carolina talk with you. Let's.
Sure, why not? We'll just move on from the World Series and go on to the.
Well, you are the
A&M football game.
You are the guy who knows everything about A&M. So let me ask you this. So. My eyeballs tell me South Carolina's not very good. The numbers will tell you that they're better than people think. When you look at some of the stats I was looking at defensively, a little bit better than I expected, at least, from initial thoughts, better than Missouri for sure. Offensively, I think they're a train wreck. They're not going to be as good as Missouri. But so how do you break down this South Carolina team?
I believe the stats and kind of what the stats told you. I think it's a good defensive football team. Not great. We're solid defensive football team. Infinitely tougher than Missouri. I'd say they're probably comparable on defense to Mississippi State. A&M had, 13 points at the half and finished with 22 or inconsistent. And so this will be a good litmus test to see how far this offense can come in a few weeks' time. Like I said before Missouri, I didn't expect to see the Alabama offense up in Columbia, but I did see an offense that seemed certainly better than it was against Mississippi State. And if they can take another step forward against South Carolina, they shouldn't have an issue. But we're also only a couple of weeks removed from that state game. And so playing a quality defense and not one that you can run for on 3rd and 14 and 15 and pick up first down will be a much, much tougher test. Calzado's going to have to play better. The offensive tackles are going to have their hands full. That that defensive end, Kingsley, and I'll butcher his last name, but he first team All SEC last year. He's going to be a first or second round pick potentially in this year's draft, and he's as good an edge rusher as A&M will see this year from any team, including Bama. He's as good as they'll face all season. You go look at what he did last year against Tennessee, and Jameer Johnson spent about half the game locked up on him. I went back and watched it. 9 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. So he's a game changer. They've got a mid-season All-American at safety who's tied for the National League with 4 picks. So they've got some dudes on defense. It's the leftover talent from Muschamp, just quite frankly being coached up better. So the Aggies are going to have to be really physical, block well at the point of attack, and run the football, set that up early. And if they can run the ball, and I go back and I mentioned Mississippi State, they ran the ball for 200-plus yards against the Bulldogs. So it's not to say that they were shut down in that one. They just had to, they had some drive stall out in the red zone there. So they just have to play a crisp, execute the game plan and execute, finish plays, finish drives, and they should be fine. But this is not a walkover like Missouri was. But like you said, offensively, South Carolina, even with Luke Doty, and now he's out, and they've got, the former GA who started the first 3 games for them. They're not just pulling this guy off the bench at this point, but Zeb Nolan coming in. They're not a good offensive team. But you look at them, and it's weird because they have a couple good receivers. They have a running back that was first-team All-SEC last year. He's been banged up. They got another back averaging 6.8 a carry. But I think the problem, Nuno, where this game needs to tilt in A&M's favor is the Aggie defensive line. This is a type game where you go, okay, guys, DeMarvin, Michael Clemens, Tyree Johnson, Jaden Peavy. You know how much football those guys have played combined between them, SEC football? McKinley Jackson at this point, a year and a half in. Those guys need to, I think they can absolutely throttle and dominate. They could absolutely throttle and dominate South Carolina up front and let the offense gradually pull away.
All right, Luch, we're going to drop it there so you can head out this way. We'll chat with you here in a moment. And drive safe, my friend.
All right, buddy.
All right, bro. That is Billy Liucci on the BCSI hotline. We had to drop it there, but a couple things I want to talk about when we come back with him. Just also, where are some other places that A&M has the advantage? We'll get into that and maybe some more media beef. I always love media beef. That's fun here on TexAgs Radio. But I want to talk about Dr. Troy Elms and Dr. Jeremy Stewart there at Elms Orthodontics on the bypass in College Station. My boys had to go by there. Oh, you're here. My boys had to go by there, and he took care of them. He took really good care of them. The Cruz had an issue with his braces, and they just did wonderful work. So now all the things that people have been telling me that I believe to be true, now I can attest and say, yeah, it's true. Cruz loved it. So just know that now I'm speaking from a place of experience when it comes to Dr. Elms and Dr. Stewart and what they do there at Elms Orthodontics. They've been around for a long time. You know what Dr. Troy Elms means to this community. Been around since 86 as a class of 86, I should say. 16-time Best of the Brasses winner. He takes care of all patients. Platinum Invisalign level provider. Just does such a great job over there. And Dr. Jeremy Stewart, class of 03. Those two are just incredible together. We're really fortunate to have them. And the ability, the way they take care of their customers or their clients, and the way they take care of everybody that comes by there. I should call them patients, right? That's probably the proper term there. The phone number for Elms Orthodontics, 979-693-6300, or learn more online at drelms.com.
You're listening to The Zone. The Zone. 1150 AM. Sports Radio. And 93.7 FM.
Howdy, y'all. This is Cullen Gillespie, former 12th man. I've always tried to help my team on and off the field. And now I'd like to help Texas A&M fans like you cut their electricity bills in half. Yep, in half. It takes less than 5 minutes and you'll save hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars every year. 90% of Texans overpay for electricity, so don't be one of them. Sign up today at EnergyOgre.com and use code GILLY, G-I-L-L-Y, for a free month of service.
The George Bush Presidential Library and Museum is excited to welcome you back. In addition to the permanent galleries, we have some new temporary exhibits. With Texas Sea Grant 50 Years of Science and Stewardship, we're celebrating the many accomplishments of the Texas Sea Grant program at Texas A&M. You can also explore Oceans of Plastic, an art collection of plastic trash collected from Texas beaches, and learn more about George Bush, an environmental president. Visit bush41.org to purchase tickets or for more information.
Aggie football is here, and Texas A&M Transportation Services offers parking and shuttle options. Pay $25 cash to park near Bush Library, Bonfire Memorial, or Agronomy Road. Ride the free downtown Bryan shuttle. For pre- and post-game traffic and parking info, or to purchase parking before the game, visit Destination Aggieland within the TAMU app, download the Park Mobile app, or visit transport.tamu.edu/football.
For those parking with an annual permit, be ready to show us your permit barcode printed on paper or on your smartphone screen. Follow us on Twitter at @GetToAggieGame.
The flagship station for Aggie Athletics is The Zone. Whenever the Aggies are playing, you can hear them right here at 1150 and 93.7 FM. Thanks to our listeners and our Aggie broadcast sponsors, Park at Tradition's Exceptional Senior Living, First Financial Bank, and Cooper's Barbecue. Here's a big gig-em to all these sponsors. Listen to Aggie Athletics on The Zone 1150 and 93.7 FM.
Hey, Joe, I thought you were retired.
Living on a fixed income is tough. So here I am, an essential worker.
I know. I mean, food prices are going up every day. Thank goodness for benefitscheckup.org.
Benefits what?
benefitscheckup.org. It's a free website where people over 60 can find help to pay for food, medicine, even utilities. I got $1,200 a year in benefits. Maybe it can help you.
On Sports Talk, Chip visits with Alabama coach Nick Saban following the upset loss to the Aggies.
Coach, you've got guys on your roster that had not experienced a loss before. How have they responded in practice, and what's your message been to them this week?
Well, I think you're right about that. Sometimes you want to remember the feeling you get when you don't have success.
Sports Talk, undefeated since 1994, only on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
It is TexAgs Radio. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Final countdown coming up here in a moment. We welcome back Billy Liucci here to the program. Did you, by any chance, listen to the last segment of the 8 o'clock hour?
I heard something about Zane boxing.
Well,
was that?
Would you like to see Zane box?
Sure.
Well,
if you're young, get in the ring.
I'd like to see it. But we had Olin do 50 Well, he chose to do 50 push-ups at the break. Thought he was going to die afterwards, but he knocked him out, man. He knocked him out.
50's a lot of push-ups. Were they real? Or were they like...
It's kind of like when your kid does push-ups. You know, you have like a little bit like, you give them grace. Like, okay, that's a good push-up. That's how I felt with OB.
Well, I know he's earned that.
Yeah.
He's earned that latitude.
They were good for his age push-ups. And he did better than I thought.
I had a guy at Traditions the other night at their Friday night party before, I don't know which game it was, but he decided that I think it was New Mexico, that he wanted to, he was telling me how he's beaten everyone he's taken on in arm wrestling. I'm like, what is that, your thing? He's not a good friend of mine. He's like, we'll call him for short Dag.
Dag.
He knows what it means. Other people know what it means. It's a nickname. It stands for doom and gloom. He's one of the more negative bands. He'll go in the tank very easily. But Dag wanted to arm wrestle. And I'm like, dude, I'm not arm wrestling you in public, like like that's something like Gabe or Bronninger would do. Socially, I'm so far evolved past that, as are 99% of people in society.
Yeah.
So this arm wrestling, well then, after a few drinks, I've socially devolved, and he keeps talking about it. So I'm like, look, first of all, I'm left-handed, you're right-handed. He's like, I'll do it left-handed. So here we go. This thing starts up.
Did you?
No, I didn't know. I didn't take it. So this is the whole point, is it starts, and he's pretty strong, and it goes like this, and then it just stays there for about 5 seconds. And I'm like, all right.
We're good.
And he's like, oh. So then he tells me a couple days ago, I was making fun of him about it. And I go, you remember when you were so drunk, you're challenging people to arm wrestle? He goes, yeah, my arm still hurts from that. Thanks a lot because you made me do my. I go, no, it's because you tried and I didn't. Like, you don't get serious about an arm wrestling or a push. Feats of strength.
Yes. Men
in feats of strength, when you're in your over 40, and certainly in others' cases, in Olin and this into your 50s, feats of strength are not. It's just something that you shelve. At some point you shelve the Star Wars toys and G.I. Joe.
I haven't done that yet.
At some point you can just have
Batman.
them up. You can have them up. You don't play with them, right?
No, I don't.
At some point you shelve. What else do we do? It's collecting cards. You shelve.
I stopped doing that.
Yeah. Whatever you do, and one of the things along the way is feats of strength.
See, I'm not there yet, my friend. Because that's why my wife gives me a hard time.
Are you, though?
I'm not going to do
It's one thing to play competitive sports. Like when you play soccer, it's another thing to work out and want to push yourself.
I'm not going to do an arm wrestling challenge.
Feats of strength, you got to, at some point, I think you go away. Like, if you're drunk, and I guess I'm wrong because you got the punching things in bars. So everybody knows, like, get a guy drunk, they're going to punch this bag.
Right.
So that, but it's just like, public things like that, I think you let it go.
Alcohol certainly will make you try things that you shouldn't.
No question. But Dag, he's this big arm wrestling guy. And then the other thing with Zane, he's at that age where I think, get in the ring. You're in your 20s. You only live once.
I'd like to see a media
let it fly.
battle royale.
I would just like to see Zane versus Gabe, if we're being honest. I think that would be a hell of a matchup.
Look, I like Gabe.
I think Gabe
like
would
Zane.
win it.
No, I don't.
I think Gabe would win it.
I don't think so. I think there's no chance Gabe wins that.
I think Zane would be overly cocky, dancing around, like having fun, and then Gabe would land a very awkward haymaker that kind of like a lefty, a southpaw, and you don't see it coming. Gabe's would be like, it could come from here, it could come from here. It could be like something like where one hand goes out and it'll be something really bizarre that he's not expecting and just kind of almost laughing at, and then he gets caught.
Right.
Because you can tell me that Zane's good at soccer or whatever, and I can tell you he also looks like he might have a glass jaw.
Yeah, but I think Gabe does too. I think.
Well, yeah.
I think Zane is coming.
I don't think that
Zane is coming with a mission in that one.
That is true. That is true.
I love both of those guys, but I think even with a stick of nunchucks, I'd take them.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I think Gabe's got a lot of rage. He did this show with me for a long time. He's been wanting to hit somebody.
All right, let's get the show back on track.
You want to get it on track before the McKinneys come in here?
Oh, I love this topic.
I mean, somebody asked on the thread who would win arm wrestling between Seth and Steve. Now, those two meatheads would easily be goaded into it.
During the show?
Maybe.
Break this table?
I shouldn't say that because I'm trying to get Seth to bring me a coffee right now. If he's listening, I might be out.
Can you send it earlier than last time? I think you sent him at
No, that was all the way back at Rollo.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So.
But that's a panicker. You know this.
I am too, though, a little bit.
You, Seth, Olin, and then there's Steve and I.
Just whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am, but I don't get to the airport as well. I do when I ride with Olin. But
boy,
that guy will go 4 hours early.
Get me started on that. Whew. Trick him into doing some push-ups next time. Y'all might be able to arrive at a normal.
I should have videoed it. It was fantastic to watch, but yeah. So, by the way, how many push-ups could you knock out right now if you had to?
We're not going to do it, but I don't know.
I think you can do 60 right now.
The way that you're describing his, maybe, but real ones.
Legit push-ups.
I've been doing the real ones with like a little, the little dumbbells.
Mm-hmm.
And I just do like
feels better on your wrist.
3 sets of like 30 to start my workout. So I don't know. I've never tried to do more than that, but I do the real ones. Like you've seen them. We worked out in
what was that? SEC Media Days.
Yeah, Birmingham. Whatever.
All right, let's quickly on Bear Alexander.
I thought you said Bear Island. It sounded like a reality show.
And there are places,
a hell of a reality show.
There's a place here in town called that, right? That you can go swimming in.
Bear X. You could drop Zane and Dalton off on Bear Island and Jamie, and see who gets off. And it's just an island with just an array of bears.
My money's on Jamie. There.
No people, just bears, and whoever gets off the island. I like it.
I think Jamie wins there.
I do too.
Bear Alexander. All right, so they don't get him, which, obviously we kind of understand that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some other names out there that could make this huge that they're still in play for.
Well, yeah, and A&M, look, first things first, this is not a sour grapes type thing. Aggies definitely wanted Bear Alexander, would still take Bear Alexander, and they will still recruit him. Now, it's one of those deals where you might have to give it a break for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Bear's got a guy. He's been to 4 high schools in 4 years. That does not take away what kind of player he is. He's impact. He's SEC impact. That's why the best defense in college football took him, with the best player probably in college football defensively at his position. And they see a path for Bear to be that kind of guy. But he's moved around a lot. And, I'll say this with me, like guys, it'll be interesting to follow his career if he sits put at one school. Scooby Carter was similar. The last guy I remember that many high schools in that many years. He went to Alabama for a year and then left. It's tough, but he's such a good player, and I think the Aggies, it might be like where you give that time to breathe and go back and revisit it. But then again, they might not if they get who they could be getting up front. And I do think that actually played in a little bit into Bears' decision. A&M is trending very much in the right direction with Walter Nolan, the number 1 player in the entire country. And let me say this about Walter Nolan. He's going to be here this weekend. So is Shamar Stewart. Shamar reminds me more of like a Marv type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a strong side DN that can play. And they're also trending very much in the right direction with Anthony Lucas. I love A&M's chances right now. If you made me pick A&M or elsewhere, forget who the competitors are. Bronny and Howell, we can go through and break all that down. But if you made me say A&M or elsewhere, and that's all you can say, for Walter Nolan, Shamar Stewart, Eni White, the DN out of Pennsylvania, and Anthony Lucas, the DN out of Arizona. I'm saying on all 4 A&M. Forget about percentages. Like Shamar Stewart, less confident than like Lucas or White. But that's all you can say is A&M or elsewhere. Saying A&M on all 4.
On all 4.
Yeah. I'm not saying they're going to get all 4. I'm saying right now, today.
They're leading on all 4.
I'm saying I feel very good about them getting 2 of those 4. And if they could get 3, it'd be remarkable. Because remember, you've also got Malik Silla, who I think is elite off the edge. His talent, his ceiling is limitless. And then you've got Jaden Scarlett, really quick inside guy that's I think would be a nice change up for what A&M's got. They don't really have that smaller, uber quick guy that's a pure inside dude. So if they could get 2 of the 4, it'd be incredible. If they get 3 out of the 4, forget about it. Best defensive line class I've ever seen at A&M. And probably
ever at A&M.
Yeah. Oh,
wow.
No question. And probably, well, think about it. If they got 3 of those 4, by one, maybe Malik doesn't have a 5th star in one of the rankings, but you would have 4 guys. Malik, I think, last I checked, he's like in the top 60 nationally recruits. Anthony Lucas just got named a 5-star by 247. Walter Nolan's a top 10 player and the number 1 player in the country. That would be like getting Myles Garrett, and Shamar Stewart's like the number 6 or 8 player in the country and a 5-star. You'd be getting 3 5-stars. Malik Silla, who is, if he's not by at least one of the 3 services, he's right there off the cut line. That's incredible. That would be absolutely incredible. To me, and I didn't even say what if you got all 4. We're not even touching that yet. But 2 of those guys will be here this weekend. And Stewart and Nolan. But what I was saying about Walter Nolan, Nuno, is he's rare. Now though, let's be real. You lost Big Bear, who you for a good portion of this recruitment you thought you were going to get. He's a 5-star himself. We're not talking about like he's a 5-star player. So now the pressure land Walter Nolan goes up even higher. I think Nolan's the best prospect in America. He's 6'5", 340 pounds, and just demolishes everything in his path. He plays hard, which a lot of guys his size don't. He is rare in that A&M players I've seen, Texas A&M signees that I would put in that category, I can count in the last 20 years on one hand, the last 30 years on one hand. Rare, like Myles Garrett. He's up there. Like you go, there's Myles Garrett, there's Nolan. That 5 stars, it's like that level above 5-star. Like Christian Kirk comes close to that, but he's not, because there are Christian Kirk guys in the country every season.
Right.
Jamar Stewart, incredible talent. Connor Wigman, Bryce Anderson, Smoke
all
Bowie.
Incredible, right.
All these guys. But then you go.
There's another level above that, though.
Yeah, like trying to think of a 5-star, like Jake Matthews. Jake Matthews was a can't-miss 5-star offensive lineman, legacy. You knew what he was going to be. It was a can't-miss, and he did exactly what you knew he could do. He came in polished and everything. But there are linemen like that come out every year. There are guys you look and go, that's a lay-down first-round pick. There's not that. Like Walter Nolan it's just a different deal. It's like Leonard Davis.
Right.
Leonard Davis, Myles Garrett, guys like that. They don't come around often, and he's certainly one of those.
All right, keep it right there. Right now, I want to remind you to text radio to 833-638-6248. That is 833-638-6248 for your chance to win the Big Friday giveaway, courtesy of our friends over there at Aggieland Outfitters. And later on during the 10 o'clock hour, we're going to unveil that winner. And this week's product is the A&M Champions white-on-white Power Blend crew neck. It's very comfortable. I don't have it. Oh. It's not here today. It hasn't been here this week.
I'd love to see it.
Well, you know what?
Sounds really.
You and I can walk over to Aggieland Outfitters and do that.
White on white.
Let's do that. Yeah, white on white on white. All right, comfortable fleece line crew neck, perfect for cool days in Aggieland. The white sweatshirt features Aggies embroidered in white across the chest, while the champion logo is featured on the wrist on the left sleeve. Remember, we're going to unveil the winner here during the 10 o'clock hour, but if not, go by Aggieland Outfitters when you come in town this weekend. It is the Texas A&M Aggie Champion white on white Power Blend crew neck, valued at $49.99 at Aggieland Outfitters.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. The Navasota Theater Alliance invites you to join an interactive experience, Lanterns and Legends. Take a nighttime guided tour on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Navasota's historic Oakland Cemetery. Rudder High School Choir presents a drive-in movie